So let's start with our vehicles. Stop purchasing the pointless products that we are constantly seeing these days. I feel like TikTok is the worst for car essentials. Like these people will promote car essentials when they're not really car essentials. It's just pointless car gadgets. What's more of a car essential is maintenance, such as oil changes, tune-ups, windshield wipers, your back window wiper. Change those. If they are giving you streak marks, if the rubber is flying off of it, it's time to change them. Your tires, check your tires. So important. I've had my fair share of being on the side of the road waiting for someone to come save me because I never checked the air in my tires. Another car maintenance that I also think is very important is keeping your car clean, interior and exterior. Again, this could be my experience, but when my car is clean, I feel like it runs better, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it has more power. So taking the brake dust off your wheels, opening up the hood, just dusting a little bit near the motor. Obviously not with your car on, but just cleaning, getting the leaves out from places where it's stuck, like taking the leaves out. You don't have to do a full detail. If you have the money to detail your car, then go for it. But you don't have to really spend money detailing. I'm not telling you to wax and buff your car. Again, if that's your thing, then go for it. But I think just a good cleaning, a good vacuuming, a little wash for the exterior. Also, heavy duty car mats. I feel like if you're gonna purchase an accessory for your vehicle, I've been talking about these for many, many years, and there's a reason why. It's because they freaking work. They are just phenomenal, especially if you live in an area where there's 4 seasons. These car mats are going to protect the floor of your vehicle. So I just find them very helpful. Even though they are pricey to buy right away, you technically get your money's worth because these are the only car mats you will ever need for that vehicle. I kid you not. They will last you as long as you take care of them. Like I said, this video is about taking care of your things. Don't like whip them while you're washing them or, bend them. Just, take care of the car mats too. Try not to treat the things that you own like crap, because then you're gonna have to keep dishing out money for the same product over and over again. So when it comes to your home, obviously I don't own a home, but I know a thing or two when it comes to taking care of a house, because I've had friends that have had houses. There are certain things, like maintenance wise, that is so much more important than decor items and things that go in your house. So I am mainly talking about the exterior of your home. Hiring someone to clean the gutters, very, very important. Checking the roof every now and then. You can hire someone to check the roof. I'm not saying like monthly, but once every couple years, check the roof. You never know. It's better to be like proactive with this stuff before things happen. I've also worked in buildings where they would never do any of this stuff. They wouldn't check the roof, they wouldn't check the gutters. When it was time for like a snowstorm or raining really hard, the roof was leaking really bad. I know this might not work for all homes. Power washing can help with the appearance of your home. It can help get all the grime, pollen, all the, the seasons off of your house. Like, it could just help out so much. Not only make your house look amazing, but I do feel like when you have pollen or you have like just things like caked on your house, I feel like sometimes it could take the paint off over the years. It can stain certain houses. So I just think it's a lot more helpful to like power wash the house. And I've heard that like power washing machines are not that expensive. Like you can get a decent one for like less than $200. And you can have it for a very, very long time if you take care of it. Now moving to the interior of your home, keeping it clean, keeping it clutter-free. Do not own things that you do not use or need. If they're sitting in your house right now, pause this video and get rid of the things that you do not need. Another thing to check in the house is if a door needs to be replaced, replace it. If a doorknob needs to be replaced, replace it. Doorknobs are fairly cheap, especially when they're just basic doorknobs. You don't have to have your house completely like a smart house. Just check in the doorknobs and doors. Very, very simple. Your windows. This is another expense that can be very, very costly over time if you do not check these things. Windows are so important, and you want them to work properly, because if they do not, then they will obviously break and you'll have like this big hole inside your house. Technically, a window is a hole to your house if you really think of it. So check your windows. I remember growing up in every apartment we lived in, my mom would always have to get us like this like wooden stick because the landlord would never ever, like the landlords, we moved a lot, but the landlords would never like replace the windows because the landlords are so cheap. And I totally get how windows are expensive. I totally get that. It was so dangerous. Again, every apartment, I had the wood stick. It's like, it wasn't even a stick. It was like a wood, like thick, I don't know. It looked like a brick, but it was wood. And we had to use that to keep the window open. So we would open the window, and if you were to let it go, it would just completely slam. I'm surprised half of these windows did not shatter because there was times where we didn't even know. And it would make me so nervous because we had cats back then. And if that would to like, that could really hurt a cat, or if not, like the worst case scenario, kill them. So having that wood stick helped out a lot when it came to those hot summer months. We couldn't afford an AC back then, so we would just have the window open to get some breeze. We would always use those wood things to keep the window open, which was so silly because as a landlord, I feel like your priority is the property. I mean, some landlords are different, so check your windows, you guys. It's so important, especially if you have pets that go in the window to see outside, or if you have kids. It's so scary if like a kid was to have their fingers there and the window came smashing down, like so scary. So always check your windows. When it comes to tech items, I know some of us have a bucket of old tech gadgets. I know some of you probably still have like the Nextel hit-up phone, the Boost Mobile hit-up phones. If you have those items, it's time. It is time to properly declutter them. You do not need them in your house. Unless you plan on giving them to like a museum or something because they are old. There's no need to have old tech gadgets in your house. When it comes to my tech gadgets, I like to bring them to Apple because obviously most of our tech gadgets have lithium batteries. So in order to dispose them properly, I just bring them to Apple. The AirPods, old AirPods, old laptops. So anything that has a lithium batteries, like there are places that will dispose of it properly for you for free. Amazing, because I didn't know this back then, and I would hoard my old iPhones back in the day and other phone gadgets. So decluttering is very important, and just keep what you need, keep what you use. And that's not just phone gadgets. Again, old laptops, old game consoles, old games in general. Like if you don't use it, give it to someone that will, or if it doesn't work, declutter it. And another thing is when you have the tech gadgets that you use all the time, protect them. Buy nice cases. Don't go the cute or cheap route for cases. You will regret it because if that tech product falls on the ground, it's not protected. It might look cute falling with the cute case. It's not protected though. For my laptop, I have a heavy duty case. I forgot the brand name. I'll have it linked down below. It's phenomenal. The same brand that makes that laptop case I have for my phone. Actually, it's right here. I've had this case for years, and absolutely, I've been buying this type of case, I want to say since 2018. And when I switch out my phones, when the phone doesn't work anymore and I get a newer phone, I buy the same $20 heavy duty case. I know some people don't agree with this because it's not outer box. It's just a brand at the end of the day. I feel like these work 10 times better than those expensive outer box cases because these also come with a built-in screen protector, which is phenomenal. Another thing when it comes to taking care of your tech gadgets, make sure you're doing software update as much as you need to. I feel like when it comes to Apple, the software updates are usually around I think it's like once a month. I could be wrong. Sometimes I do forget, and then I'll before going to bed, I will check my laptop and check my phone if it needs to be updated, and then I'll just leave them out here to update for the night. But always doing software updates helps with any type of bugs that the system has. I think it helps out a lot. And don't get me wrong, there's sometimes software updates can be glitchy and sometimes they don't work in our favor, but usually these companies are on top of fixing the glitches, and then they'll do another software update to fix the last one. Again, tech can be kind of confusing and a little complicated sometimes, but that's why I always say, like, only have what you need. For myself, the only tech gadgets I own is my laptop, my camera, and my phone. That's it. If I did not do this for a living, I wouldn't have my laptop, I wouldn't have this camera, and I would only have my phone because I'm just not a tech savvy person. Rather keep my life pretty simple when it comes to tech gadgets because it can be very pricey to, stay updated with them, and it can just be pricey overall to buy the newest tech gadgets. I used to have an iPad back in the day. I thought it was pointless. Like, I had it for like a year, and I think I only used it like maybe 20 times out of that year, and I ended up like getting rid of it because I had no use for it. I found out that it was technically a bigger version of my phone, and instead of me like going for my iPad, I always like grabbed my phone instead because it was just a little bit more convenient. So anyways, take care of your tech gadgets because it's one less thing that you will need to replace over and over again. And the last little topic is clothes. Now, the one thing when it comes to clothes is quality over quantity. We are in the land of fast fashion. It has become so bad. I've actually have heard and seen that the thrift stores are really bad these days. Like, it's really hard to find good quality clothing at the thrift stores because of the fast fashion industry and how everyone is just like,
Shein, Temu, cheap, I want it all.
Things that are in right now that people are purchasing. I think the style right now is Y2K, which I would never go back to that style. I have dealt with that style when I was elementary school and middle school, and I will never go back to that style ever again. It just was not for me. Even back then, I used to feel like the low-rise jeans. I never had a flat stomach, and it just never, like, that style never fit me. So anyways, that style is in these days. And when it comes to style, it's in one day, out the next day. And what happens with people purchasing cheap items from Shein, Temu, Fashion Nova, like, obviously these tops are like $5, jeans are probably 10, not even real jeans. What happens is when things are out of style, then the people that purchase all these items get sick of it and they're like, oh, it's not in style anymore. I don't want any of these clothes. Declutter, bring it to a donation box. Most of it ends up in thrift stores. I heard the thrift stores are filled with Temu clothes, like really bad quality clothing items, and the thrift stores are charging an arm and a leg for this stuff, which is crazy. But anyways, I have learned throughout the years quality over quantity. I haven't purchased clothes in a very long time. I wear the same thing for the past couple of years, and I don't plan on purchasing clothes until I, one, feel a little bit more comfortable with my body, two, figure out my finances, and three, figure out where do I want to purchase these items from. Because again, I want like 100% cotton, I want linen, I want the good quality clothing items, the items that are going to last me, the items where I can take care of, wash them properly. I'll have them for 10 to 20 years, if not more, because the quality is that good where it's not going to shrink, rip, fade. Again, I'm still learning with this, and I know cheap clothes can be appealing. I get it. I've been there. I've only purchased cheap clothes because I didn't grow up with parents that had money, and whatever was cheap at Walmart, whatever was cheap at Savers, Salvation Army, or even the dollar store. The dollar store had clothes. When I used to go to the dollar store back then, whatever was cheap, that's what we would purchase. Family Dollar clothes, that's the things that we would have. I'm learning now, like, wow, I've replaced so many leggings because, with it being polyester, it doesn't last long. I've replaced so many tops, other weird fabrics that just don't last. Even the clothes I'm wearing right now, I know they're not gonna last because they're not made out of good quality. But I'm trying to make it work for now until I figure out what I want to do when it comes to clothes and money and my weight, things like that. So if you have good quality clothes, when it comes to your clothing items, especially the good quality ones, check the tags. There are instructions on how to properly take care of this item so it can last you a long time. This is another thing that I ignored for the longest time, was the tags on clothes. Yes, they're annoying, but they're also very helpful. There are rules to cleaning your clothes, taking care of them properly. So if something says hand wash only, there's a reason why it says hand wash only. I know it sounds so redundant, but there are rules for this particular clothing item for a reason. So follow them and you'll have these clothes for a long, long time. As long as they're good quality. If they're good quality, they'll last a long time.